What's going on, everybody? John Keane with the Ugly Truth Podcast. Welcome to the show. I'm super pumped up. I'm super excited today to get going with you guys. I have got such a great episode for you guys that we're doing today. Um, I hope that maybe you were here yesterday and the day before as we continue in this just phenomenal series, really, that we're doing this week. If you're listening today on Anchor, Spotify, iTunes, welcome to the show. If you're watching this stream today on Facebook Live, welcome to the show as well. We stream on Facebook Live at 9 o'clock at night. So welcome as well if you're watching this. Please make sure you do me a favor and hit the like button, hit the share button. The content that we're going to be talking about, especially today, is going to be so helpful and so beneficial to so many different people out there. And so it's free to share content. So please share this out. And you never know who you're going to impact by just doing that, or who this message is going to reach by just doing that. Everybody make sure that you check out uglytruthpodcast.com. If you want to re-listen to or re-watch any of your favorite episodes, you'll find it all right there. As always, the Ugly Truth Podcast is sponsored by Beast Supplement Company. There's a beast in all of us, so find the beast that's in you. You can visit them at beastsupplementcompany.com. They have the most elite vitamins and supplements on the planet. Always free shipping right to your door. So let's get started with the podcast today. I've got a great episode for you guys today that I think really affects and impacts every single one of us. I think that if we're being 100% honest with ourselves, most of us, this podcast is going to be extremely relatable to on some serious levels. So today's podcast is simply titled, I don't know if you can see, well, you can't see this if you're listening, but if you're watching this on Facebook right now, you should have liked and shared already, and you should be able to see this, but it's Lost and Found. We're going to be talking about, if you're feeling lost, what to do if you haven't got your life all figured out yet. I think so many of us fall into this category. I think that this is a topic that affects so many people. This is the root cause of a lot of anxiety and depression and anger. And so we're going to be tackling a very difficult subject today. If you are watching this live on Facebook, if you're watching the live stream, please comment where you're watching from. I would love to connect, would love to know where you are watching this video from right now. So let's, first off, all right, I think it's funny that as we grow up, we are pretty much programmed to believe that we're supposed to have our entire life figured out by the time that we're 21 years old. We get kind of like a guideline, like, hey, you're supposed to graduate from high school with decent grades so that you can get into a good college and graduate, so that you can then get a good job where you're going to get a good paycheck, and then you're going to attract the perfect woman or man. You're going to get married, and then you're going to have 2 or 3 kids, a big dog, a big house, and you're going to live happily ever after. I really don't know if anybody has ever really done that before in the history of humanity. But either way, we are fed that story as we grow up, and then what happens is we end up wondering what's wrong with us when our life doesn't turn out exactly that way. We almost feel like we're letting somebody else down, or we're letting ourselves down when things just don't play out perfectly. Well, it's the Ugly Truth Podcast, so I'm not going to lie to you. I'm going to tell you the truth, and the truth is you need to get over it. Life just doesn't work that way, and it's messy, it's hard, but it's very fun and it's very interesting. It's a ride to enjoy, but it's not a mission to accomplish. We talked about this last night. We talked about this on Tuesday, that it's not about keeping score. It's about enjoying the journey along the way as you're going through life. So if you're feeling the pressure of your family, if you're feeling the pressure of your friends, and they're asking you what your plans are for the rest of your life, here's what I want you to do. Simply just ask them if they had it all figured out when they were 21 or 30 or even 40. And if they tell you that yes, one of two things is the truth. Either one, they're absolutely lying to your face, or they settled and decided to do exactly what their parents wanted without asking themselves if it was the right move for them. Here's a more likely scenario of what happens to most people instead of the first one that we talked about. Number one is they struggle to make it through high school. I personally dropped out in the ninth grade. I'm a podcaster, a blogger. I'm an author. I've got published books. I own a couple different e-commerce companies. I've got some other things going on. My life has not played out to the same tune that society said it would play out if I didn't go to college and graduate yet. Here I am. The struggle to make it through high school is real. And if school is not your thing, you should not feel ashamed about that if that's not your thing. It was not my thing. I chose a different route, and that's okay. And you can too if that's what you want. But you're going to struggle to make it through high school so that you can get into a college and graduate, so that you can come out and get a really low-paying job, if you're lucky, that has something to do with the degree that you just got, all right, or your major that you picked. Then you're going to struggle to pay your rent, right, and those big student loans back, and then you're going to wonder what's wrong with you and why you don't have your life all figured out, which that ends up resulting in you being depressed and anxious, which prevents you from finding that perfect man or that perfect woman, which leads to deeper depression and anxiety, and generally you feel like a loser. That is the ugly truth. The first is really a lie. That is the ugly truth. As far as what is more likely to happen. So what I'd like to do today on the podcast is propose that you take a different approach to life, one that you can actually feel good about, if you will. The first scenario that we just talked about is nothing more than a huge list of expectations that our parents and society thrust upon us without us even having to buy in. And we take it on because we think that that's just what everybody's supposed to do. The myths are in the media, and they're in school, religion, just about everywhere else. They pump you full of this idea. And when you can't live up to these expectations, or like in my case, you just simply don't want to, well, you feel bad about it, like there's something actually wrong with you. Now, if this is you today, if you're watching this on Facebook or you're listening to this, again, please share this out. Somebody needs to hear this today. But if this is you today, I want you to know you're not alone. You're not in the minority. You're actually in the majority of people that feel the exact same way. Only about 1% of the population, all right, actually accomplishes the first plan. And most of them that do, truthfully, they're not happy with their life. One thing that I've learned from all of the experiences and the speaking and talking and entrepreneurship and everything else in this journey, I have met some really interesting individuals that by society standards would be considered successes, even mega successes, yet they are some of the most miserable people on the planet, and they're not happy with where their life is, and they truthfully have regret and wish that they would have taken a different road. They truthfully wish that they would have chose to go a different route and pursue things that they were passionate about or made them happy, instead of pursuing things like they were on a mission to accomplish a certain thing. What you need to realize today is that life is an experiment. You need to look at your entire life as an opportunity to experiment. And you never stop experimenting, no matter what your age is today, whether you're listening to this and you're 13, 14, 18, 20, 50, 60, 80, 90. None of that matters. You never stop experimenting, because it's never too late and you're never too old, all right, to change. With every new experience, right, you're going to learn something about yourself. What you need to do is you need to notice what you're drawn to and what you like, what you don't like, and what pushes you away, right? And then with your next experiment in life or your next journey, you're going to want to do more of what you were drawn to and what you like. There's really no such thing as a failure when you live your life this way, because if you're experimenting, then you're really always learning. My mentor, like we talked about on Tuesday, has told me, hey, look, nothing is a failure. All right. No, it doesn't matter how much money you lost. It doesn't how much time got spent on something. If you learn something valuable from that, then it was not a failure, right? It's only a failure when you don't learn anything valuable from that experiment. So as long as you're paying attention, as long as you're perceptive, and as long as you are self-aware, then you can almost learn something from every single situation that you encounter in life. I have chosen the entrepreneur route, but I have also been very high up in corporate positions. That was not the life for me. I've done both. I have worked my way up in the corporate ladder, and I have decided to bang my head against the brick wall with entrepreneurship. Which, by the way, people, entrepreneurship is not what Instagram makes it out to be, or Twitter makes it out to be, or Facebook makes it out to be. If you really believe that, then you are going to be sorely mistaken when you get here. Entrepreneurship is not you wake up one day with a big company and a big house and a jet, and you party on the beach all day like it's 1999. Entrepreneurship is more like rolling out of bed and bashing your face into a brick wall over and over and over again, hoping that something works. But that's what I'm addicted to. That's what I love. And that's my passion. So I'm happy every single day. But the point is that whatever you choose to do, right? Whatever you choose to do, you need to make sure that it's something that feels right for you. And you need to make sure that it pushes you a little bit outside your comfort zone. Right? You don't want to just sit in your comfort zone and be stagnated and never advance or never push yourself or never grow. But here's what you don't do. You don't worry about making other people happy. It's not your job to make somebody else happy. It's your job to live your own life and make yourself happy. So you don't want to let anybody guilt you into doing anything different. If you don't have anything figured out yet, which I've talked to some people that said, hey, they're like, John, what should I do? And I'm like, well, you should live in your passion. Whatever the thing is you go to sleep about, and whatever the thing is that you wake up thinking about, that's the thing that you should do. And they say, well, what if I don't know what that is? What if I don't have anything yet? Well, that's okay. If you don't have anything figured out, all right, there's no race to the finish line. It's okay, right? We're on this earth for a very short amount of time, and you can experiment to discover whatever your God-given gifts and abilities are, and then you find a way to share those with the world. That's really your only job. That's really and truly your only job. The root of all unhappiness is expectation. And you really need to drop all expectation that you have or that you think somebody else has for you, because unmet expectations will create extremely negative emotions. Whether you've been programmed to think a certain way or not, whenever you put expectations on something, it will create extreme negative emotions when they are not met and they are not accomplished like you expected them to be. Now, while you've been programmed to think that you have to use a college degree in order to be successful in life, I'm a proven example that is just simply not the case. All right. But what you want to do is find out what makes your heart sing, man. What gives you passion? What gives you joy? How would you love to spend your days every day? The way that the world works now, you can really find a way to make money doing anything that makes you happy. When I talk to people, and they're like, hey, and I've got some e-commerce things going on, and they're like, hey, I want to get into e-commerce. What industry should I be in? How should I make my money on the internet? And I tell them, you should do whatever what's your favorite thing in the world to do? Oh, I really, really love Star Trek. Okay, well, then make money with Star Trek. What? John, what do you mean? How is that possible? Well, it's really simple, really. You start a Star Trek blog. You start a Star Trek podcast. Maybe you collect and sell Star Trek figurines. There's a million ways. It's 2020 almost. Like, we live in the age where literally you could probably get on Google and do a quick search and reveal people that are already doing exactly what you're dreaming of, or exactly what you would actually really love to be doing. But the cool thing is that what you do want to do is find people that are doing those things. So it probably will be beneficial to do a quick search and see who is doing those things, and then connect with those people. I can't tell you how many people message me and inbox me, and I love being able to help people, whether they are looking to write their own book or create their own podcast or build their own e-commerce store, or whatever the case may be. I love being able to help people that way and share my experiences and my gifts and abilities with those people. So reach out to those people and connect with them, because we're out there waiting for you to ask how we did it. They're out there waiting for you to ask how they did it. And they want to help you. I want to help you, especially when you can find unique ways to help them. That's the cool thing, is that you're not bringing nothing to the table. You have some skill or some ability to do something that would provide somebody that's going to teach you the ropes of what you want to know, some sort of value. To give you an example, I've had some people do some graphic design work for me in exchange for helping them with setting up a podcast. I've had some people do all sorts of things. There's been a lot of trade going on, and that's the beautiful thing, is that there's something of value that you can bring to the table to somebody that already has run the race that you're trying to run, so to speak, or is living in the lane, I should say, that you really want to live in. And they would love to help you. They would love to help you. But here's what I want to tell you is being successful does not mean that you have a lot of money. It is not having a good job, a big house, or anything like that. Those are all stories that our culture basically perpetuates, but yet they've been proven false time and time again. What real success is first and foremost, truthfully loving and accepting yourself just as you are right this very second. It means that you love what you do and that you're using your God-given gifts and abilities that you were born with to help other people. All right, so how can you create your own amazing life? How can you implement these into your own journey? And I'm going to give you a couple simple steps that are going to help you create your own amazing life. Again, if you're watching this on Facebook Live right now, please share this content out. Somebody needs to hear this today. Somebody needs to benefit from this incredible content. But the first thing that you can do is help other people. Now, whoa, hold on, wait a minute. In the world that we live in today, it's a me society. Well, yeah, it's wrong. Help other people. If you're struggling to figure out right now what you want to do with the rest of your life, my initial suggestion is to stop focusing on yourself, right? And everything that's wrong, and find some people that you can help. You know, what are you good at that you take for granted? What are some things that you're very capable of that really aren't a big deal to you, right? What are things that other people compliment you on that you think, hey, those are really no big deal? But those are your gifts. And what you want to do is find a way to share those. Some of my gifts and abilities are speaking. Some of my gifts and abilities are website design and creating content, or auditing a business model and things like that. And so if I want to give a gift to somebody, those things are really no big deal to me. It's not a really difficult task for me to speak, or a difficult task for me to come up with some type of script or whatever. It just is natural to me. And so if somebody in that area needed some help, well, then that's just something that I could do for somebody that is really, really easy for me, that they may really be struggling with, and I can offer that as help. Right. The second thing is to find your happiness. This is my next suggestion, is that it would be that you find your happiness that's buried deep inside you and let it out. Don't tell yourself that you can't be happy until all of the stars align and everything falls perfectly into place. All right. Because even if that happened, the happiness, it would still be fleeting. It wouldn't be there. It would be for a moment. So the stars will never stay aligned anyway. So everything doesn't have to fall into place. To give you an example, I used to think that, all right, I'll be happy once I have a successful business that's making 7 figures a year. This is not the case. That's not where the happiness lies. The happiness is a decision. It's a choice, right? And so being happy is not an emotional response. Like, if you allow being happy to be an emotional response, then you allow somebody else to control your happiness. And if you allow somebody else to control your happiness, really, you're allowing yourself to be a slave to somebody. Being happy is decision. It really doesn't matter what your situation is. In every single moment that you're facing, you're choosing right then and there how you feel. You're choosing, not them choosing for you. You're choosing in that moment right how you feel. So what you can do is practice mindfulness by taking a deep breath and noticing how you feel in the moment. Do you want to feel that way? And if you're not happy with how you feel in that moment, then you need to make a new choice. You need to make a new decision. There's times even recently where I was upset, right? Or I was not balanced the way that I wanted to be balanced. And I'm a very self-aware person. I think that is a very important characteristic trait of life, is to be self-aware. And so it's like, hold on, I don't want to feel like this anymore. I don't like the way that I feel. And it's like, okay, well, I can choose to feel a different way. The third is, like we discussed, you got to let go of your expectation. Feeling like you've let others down, it's a story that you're just telling yourself. And I'm guessing that it's probably not working very well for most everybody that's listening to this right now. What you need to do is make up a new story that creates a way more positive feeling in yourself, in your heart, in your soul. If other people are telling you that you've let them down, you need to ask yourself if you happily agreed to live up to their expectations. Trying to live up to somebody else's expectations is truthfully impossible. It's a surefire path to knock yourself right into unhappiness. You really cannot make other people happy. It's truth, right? That's their job. Your job is to make yourself happy, and that comes from the inside. If you say, I'll be happy when, well, then you'll never be happy. You'll never be happy. If that's your normal thing, well, I'll be happy when. If we could only get this, if we could only live here, I'd be happy if we had this. Well, then you're never going to be happy. Ever. Ever, ever, ever. So what you need to do is to choose happiness, right? If you were to smile a really big smile right now and hold it for 30 seconds, especially if right now in this moment you don't feel like it, do that a few more times a day. Make yourself smile. Make yourself feel happy, and all of a sudden it'll become almost second nature, and you won't be allowing other people to influence that happiness. The force is with you and you. No, the fourth thing is to express your gratitude. You gotta find things that you are grateful for throughout the day. Even write them down if you're unable to do this. I know this can be difficult for a lot of people because it's like, well, I'm not happy because nothing's going right for me today. I'm not happy because this isn't going good today. Or what do you mean be thankful for? I just lost my job, or well, there's something in your life that you have to be grateful for. The fact that you have a life right now is probably something that you should be grateful for. So if you struggle to do that, then carry a journal with you and write them down, or put them in your phone. All right, maybe carrying a journal is like really 1998. All right, it is 2019. Write them in your phone. Write them in your phone. Things that you can be grateful for right now. You have people in your life maybe who love you. You're free to change jobs. And by the way, you are free to change jobs. You are not chained to a job that you hate. So do not be afraid to change jobs. Do not let fear of, well, I don't know how I would pay my bills if I change. Just change your job. Okay, just go for it. You're alive. You're healthy. You're free to start over today and make new choices. Really, anytime you want, you can start over. You have eyes that you can see. You know what I mean? Like, that's pretty good. You got food, you got water, maybe you got clothes. I mean, it's just incredible. Whenever I look like at a beautiful scenery or a flower or a landscape or anything else, I tend to say thank you, right, for the opportunity that I get to see and experience a little bit of beauty today. If you're grateful for something about another person, then by all means, let that person know that you're thankful for them. Do not assume that they already know. You'll make somebody's day by telling them that you're grateful for what they do in your life or what they're bringing into your life. And the fifth thing, and probably the most important thing, like we talked about, is experiment. While you're at the job that you hate, or lucky you, while you're not working, if you don't have a job that you hate, you have plenty of time on your hands. So experiment a little bit every day. Like I said, take down, a journal or a phone or whatever, and put in your innermost thoughts. Take classes that interest you, not ones that will lead you to a job. Don't do something because you think it's going to lead you to a job. Take a class because you're really interested about what's going on. It's a great tool for anyone at any age just wondering what they should do for their life. Whether you're 18 or 58, it really applies equally to everyone. And this concept, if you will, it'll really get you thinking differently if you'll put it into action. If you actually do it, it'll really put you into action towards the right place. Moving on from where you are to a better place, it's not going to happen overnight. It won't happen really until you decide to make some changes. But guess what? It's okay to take some baby steps each day towards what you really want out of life. Do you even know what you want it to be yet? If not, experiment. Some days are going to be better than others, but you have to keep taking consistent baby steps in the direction that you choose and allow your happiness to grow. And that, my friends, that really is the ugly truth today. That really is the point of the entire deal today, is that it's okay. It's okay if you don't know what you want to do today. It's okay if you're not 100% certain as to who you want to be today. You have nobody else's expectations to live up to. You have nobody else to impress today. Be happy with who you are. Be happy that you're alive today. Be happy that you have a new opportunity and that you can try something different. Experiment around. Enjoy the journey. Don't worry about the score. Don't worry about the finish line. Things are going to come and go, man. Seasons are going to change. If you're constantly worried about what's coming next, or you're constantly worried about what's already happened, then you're really going to miss the moment. And I have to say, right now in my own personal life, in this moment that I'm in, it is one of the best moments that I've ever been in my entire life. With my businesses, with this podcast that I've been afforded the opportunity to be able to do, with my family, with the lifestyle that we're living, with where we're living, everything is just, I'm so grateful. I'm just so thankful, and I'm so grateful for this moment. And I'm not worried about what's going to come 2 months from now, 6 months from now, a year from now, because I want to bask and enjoy this moment right here, right now. I hope everybody enjoyed the podcast today. I hope that there was value in this for you. I hope that you will take those steps and implement them. If you need to go back and re-listen to this and write this stuff down, you can find all of your favorite episodes at the uglytruthpodcast.com. So you can head over there to that. The link will be in the description. But I really hope that this is making an impact, that this podcast is helping people. If you have comments, if you have questions, if you have ideas, share them below, man. Everybody's welcome to comment. Everybody is welcome to contribute to this post. And if nobody's told you today, I love you. I think you're incredible. I think you're an amazing person. I just want everyone to go through life and be happy. I just want everyone to experience the most incredible life that they can experience, and that's going to be different for everybody. There is no play-by-play book. All you have to do it is experiment and try different things and have zero expectations. Maybe I'll succeed, maybe I won't. Maybe this will work out, maybe it won't, and I'll have to do something else. But at the end of the day, any of that is okay. It's okay to be different. It's okay to want something different than what your parents want for you, or your family wants for you, or anybody else wants for you. It is your life, and you've got an obligation and a duty to yourself to live it to the best of your God-given ability. I love each and every one of you, and I will see you guys tomorrow night at 9 p.m. All right? The Ugly Truth Podcast is sponsored and brought to you guys by Beast Supplement Company, beastsupplementcompany.com, the number one most elite nutrition, supplements, and vitamins on the planet. Free shipping always right to your door. Check them out online. All right? There's a beast in all of us, so find the beast that's in you. Peace.